G'day guys, this is Elliot from MMT, and I got Ninja here as well. We're going to be talking about the lats today and how they can be quite overlooked. Very important muscle. So we're going to look here at the map here. Lats refer to this flat bit of muscle there, connects all the way to your arm and all the way down through the center, like the lower part of your back then, to this thoracolumbar fascia, which is also attached to your pelvis there. So if we peel the skin off someone, we could see that as one continuous line, and actually the forces go down into the leg as well, because there's no like border there where they're completely separate. Yeah, everyone's got lats, all right? Doesn't matter if you're a swimmer or an Olympic weightlifter or an elderly person, everyone's got lats there. So if over time we're not utilizing them, if you don't use it, you lose it. It starts to shrink, all right? So we'll get tight, we'll start to become quite weak, and what can happen is that the frame of the body can get quite compressed. So that's how I reckon when people get older, they develop that bit of hunch, because a lot of their tissues are just contracting. They start kind of doing this and lifting. You can get by in life, but there's a lot of weakness there. So yeah, when we think about lats, we think about them like in pull downs or doing pull-ups up to that area to engage that, but they've got a lot more function than that. So if you imagine it's touching here all the way down to here like that, yes, it does contract like this, but when it lengthens, it can lengthen to like here. Okay, so when I'm reaching this way, that's at its full length. At its full shortening phase, it's kind of all the way down through here. So it's got a lot of usable range. And you can see if it's dysfunctional, weak or tight, it can impact that range and I won't be able to move into these positions as easily. All right, so climbing, when people go to the bouldering gyms, that's when they're going to be utilizing it. Again, not just doing this, but also reaching across, lengthening it out, shortening, yeah, getting that reach. And also that's a great opportunity for people to get their bodies to decompress. I reckon probably a few million years ago, when our ancestors were living in trees and stuff, that was happening all the time. A lot of reaching, a lot of decompression in the body. But human lives nowadays, and the way that we live in modern society, that's just not being stimulated. And when it's not being stimulated, it shrivels up. So we're just gradually getting more and more compressed. And anyways, so today we're going to talk about how it actually relates to the shoulder more. It does relate to the back, but we're going to focus more on the shoulder there. So we're going to use Ninja first as an example there. You got a bit of tight stuff going on. Yeah. Some pull-ups.
Yep.
How many pull-ups did you do?
It was nearly 100. Yeah, we did 10 sets. We went from 15 down to 6, so 15, then a 14 and a 13. So try and get it done in 10 minutes. I got it done. So I'm going pretty good, but I'm pretty sore now. It's 2 days later. So I had a big night on Monday night.
Yeah.
Heavy deadlifts, heavy squats, and lots of pull-ups.
Quite a bit of load. How are they going the last few sets? Like down to 3-2-1s?
Yeah, I probably wasn't getting as much range as I was early, but I was still trying to get it done, and I'm just really sore in here as well. But the whole lats are just cooked. Yeah, so
that's a great example of him using a big engine of the body, the lats there, and yeah, you said the first set was 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, so really just working through them, and as you got further and further into the later sets there, that start to gas out. So when he's trying to gas out there, the body's then trying to use other ways to get that pull up. The lats will do a little bit, but then he'll start to overutilize this. And you can see there that even when the body shuts down one area, it tries to find something else to do. And that's where you can get into some compensation. So you've had a bit of work done in the forearms and stuff. Yeah. Let's do a quick test then. So are you feeling tight in your shoulders at all still?
I'm feeling pretty good. I can just feel that it's sore just through in between the shoulder blades. That's probably particularly in there, and then the lats a bit too between the ribs. Yeah, okay. Feeling it.
Show us this one. Just grab onto your shoulder like that. Can you cover your face with your elbow? Yeah, keeping your hand flat on the shoulder. That's it. That feels okay through the shoulder there.
Yeah.
Bit of tightness at all? No.
Nah, it's pretty good. I can just sort of feel a bit of general kind of.
All right, and then reaching that up. Arm and over.
Yeah, it feels good to stretch it, man. Like
yeah, so just move through there.
Yeah.
So not too dysfunctional, more like exercise soreness, which is a good sign. It means that he's been training using the full range. But when some people that do pull downs, they don't utilize the full range, that full stretch, they're training their muscles to shorten up, and that's where they can lock in, and then when they try to do something like that, it'll pinch, and they'll usually feel some sort of pain in their shoulder. So Ninja doesn't have that right now, which is good. But some people will say, oh, I've got some pain here, but they don't realize something down here is what's pulling them down. Yeah. So we're going to do a bit of work on Ninja there, and then Ninja's going to do some work on me because I'm a little bit restricted in mine, so we can see the difference.
Ulterior motive. Yeah. He just wants me to show me what to do on him.
Just a free treatment, huh?
You want me to sit down or?
Nah, here's, sit, it's fine. So I'm gonna get you to pop your hand on your other shoulder like that. That's just gonna expose lats here. And what I'm gonna do here is a bit more of a pinch technique. So you can like just squish into it, like, you know, get someone lying on the side and roll into it like that. You're gonna be hitting the lats, a bit of the serratus underneath. But here we wanna get more into the lats and teres as well, which is kind of this like bit of chunky muscle that comes out here. So if you're doing body work, take your time with this. It does take a bit of training to build your strength up. I've been doing quite a bit of this in myself and a few others, so I've developed a bit more of that strength there. But what I'm doing here is just like a pincer, right? And I can feel a ninja there. It's not too bad. There's just a bit of density here, and it's probably not just the lat alone that I'm pushing on. A bit of the teres major as well. They have a bit of a crossover. So I'll just grab that and just give it a good squeeze. Now Ninja, just raise your elbow up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So that kind of lengthens that out a bit.
Wow. Gives you access.
Yeah. So take your time with it. If you feel like your hand's getting a bit tired there, ease off. You know, don't cook yourself doing this. But if it's something you want to give it a go, it's quite a useful one. Every now and then on some really dysfunctional ones, when you give it a good squeeze, you'll see it start to flutter away and twitch. That's when you know you've got a good juicy one. And I'm just thinking about squeezing the juice out.
Yeah, it's good. Oh. Yeah, the initial going into it, it's intense, but then it kind of dies off really quickly with me. So it's like you get through that initial thing and relax, don't try and push it out. And, yeah, get the therapeutic benefits. Do what you need to do.
So that's quite large. This is quite a useful area to get into because of the teres and the other gripping muscles there. Also feel through there. That's not too bad. Let's keep in this area here. So if I want a bit more access, I can get Ninja to lie down. Just get you to lie on your back. Over here. Get the same arm here. So you can sort of see where I've been. Let your arm just go dead weight. That's it. So same thing again too. You can use two hands, just make sure you just secure the arm so it doesn't flop out. And then grabbing, get a nice good bit of meat there. And you're just trying to get your fingers to touch each other. So when you do that, you just feel through the muscle first. You'll feel where it's a bit more sticky or a bit more dense, and just work through that. I'm just imagining I'm just squeezing out a bit of that juice there. And this is a good spot here. So when I do that, as I run it out this way, I can feel Ninja's lat twitching away. And you can do a bit of a dynamic release as well. As you hold that and pin it, you can also like lengthen the arm, lengthen the lats like this. And it's quite a nice one to get into. So the last thing I'm going to do here as well, just slowly release off there, is just remember where its attachment point is onto the humerus here. Okay, so it can have a bit of a tendon get a bit sticky too, so I'm on the edge of the lat tendon here. You can push into that a little, and that's a nice one. So you can see if I flick over it, we'll get a bit of a twitch happening here as well. There it is, there's a twitch there. And that's because it's been working pretty hard. So very therapeutic.
Wow.
Just trying to get some of those tissues sliding a bit better, not be so sticky. You know, trying to get some nice length out of this. And you can imagine, as this is now being able to decompress and lengthen out, this whole region here can now reach up really nicely. Whereas if this is shortened and pulling everything down, as Ninja tries to lift up, things will start to jam up and people start feeling pinches in their shoulder here. So if anyone's got shoulder pain and they're pinching up through there, don't just work in here. Think about what's on the other side, try to pull back down. All right, my turn.
All right.
That's about.
So if I can copy your technique.
Yep.
All right, man. So which one do you want?
We'll get my right one.
Yeah.
So again, not too bad, but I'm feeling a little bit stiff here. I've had this injury before where I actually couldn't even reach my own shoulder. And yeah, my lats here and my teres are all locked up.
So yeah, how did you do it? Did you get me there first? And you're just trying to grab just like that. I suppose when you're grabbing, you don't want to just go fast. It's sort of like a gradual pressure increase. So you're kind of getting permission. You're not gonna get them to freak out and fight you and bounce you out or run away. So yeah, we want to go in gradually and then just really try and Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, I can kind of feel like I can really get in there, like a double grip, like that.
It's good grip strength training.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like this year, Leo and myself, the cameraman, we've been hanging a lot. So yeah, it's one of those things that we were talking about earlier that we're probably built to do. Increasing your grip strength, get a grip on the bar, but to get a grip on life as well. I think there's a parallel there. There's you can really, I reckon down there a bit. Found a good juicy spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, get a grip.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, our bodies were designed with function in mind, weren't they? Like for our survival. We were meant to, climb trees and run fast and maybe dig and chop and all these different things that our lifestyles these days don't have in them. And we're so comfortable. We don't have to worry about our food anymore. It just all comes in a truck. Flick a switch where it can get warm or cool, or all these different things. So so the more you can kind of replicate these old school things that we used to do in former ancestors, then the better off our body's going to function, and we're going to be more healthy. And as Elliot was saying, use it or lose it. That's kind of the way life works.
Hasn't changed.
You use it stays functional, and it stays big. The muscle's big, otherwise they shrink. So
real fast.
Yeah.
Our bodies are really efficient too, so it takes a lot of energy to keep our muscles alive, and if we're not using them, body's just going to throw them away.
Yeah. No, you're always putting energy into something that's not being utilised. So coming out of there. Fuck, you can even see, if you lift your hand up, you see there's some paw prints there.
Yeah, good is it?
Feels like, so, and then you were up in here a bit.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I can just probably even just do that with our fingertips.
That's it,
on there.
Commit to each other, yeah, good.
So I'm kind of pushing on the back of his shoulder there, and then hitting onto those spots, so I can kind of feel those tendons where they're joining in.
So I'm helping Ninja out a bit, just like changing my arm position every now and then, and that just helps to roll some of those tissues through. I can feel where it gets a bit more stuck.
I can probably even stretch you a little bit like that too, just to get that lat to really stretch out and feel right into that spot. Yeah, got it?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm tracking this one here. I can feel it's trying to roll out, so I'm trying to pin onto it, so it just gets that work into it that it needs to soften and heal up faster, remold itself, all that kind of stuff. So
interesting thing to know as well is that our muscles, they lay on top of each other, and so they slide past each other, and there's a bit of lubrication that happens between them. I think it's called hyaluronic acid, and so if we don't use an area, or the area gets injured, those layers start sticking to each other. So when they stick to each other, we lose that kind of range there. So now that's a lot easier. I can reach over to my shoulder there a lot easier now because I'm not being held back. I can easily just cover my face. So if you're at home, you want to test your own shoulder out, there's a good test to do. You should be able to reach your own shoulder like that. You should be able to comfortably with your hand flat like that, cover your own face, and it should feel easy and smooth. That's a good healthy shoulder there. It's got a lot of good range through here. If it's jammed up through there, you're just going to get stuck and you're going to feel that pinch.
Yeah. You want more work? You happy with that? Or
that's pretty good at the moment, Nick.
Don't need the table work? Well, fixed.
Do you want to
Efficient. Cheers. We'll do the other side in a minute.
Yeah.
But lats.
Get into them.
Yeah, hang. Get them there.
Hang, stretch.
Get in.
Use it.
Old school. Get it. Done.
Done.